Blue Underground follows their beautiful and deluxe upgrade from their previous Blu-ray release of Jess Franco's 1968 Blood of Fu Manchu with 1969's Jess Franco The Castle of Fu Manchu, also on 4K UHD and Blu-ray in the same set. So these are new transfers porting over, I think, almost entirely old extras. I'll let you know when I get there if any of these extras are new, but this is another of Jess Franco's Fu Manchu films. If you're not familiar with Fu Manchu, it was Sax Rohmer had written these pulp novels about this Asian criminal mastermind, Fu Manchu, who was always bent on world domination. Think of a Bond film. Think of a villain in a Bond film. Think about, instead of a series of movies or books about the hero, think of a series of movies or books about that villain. That's what we have with the Fu Manchu series. And Christopher Lee played him in several films. Jess Franco, I think, only directed the last two here that were done in the 60s. And I'll dig into what the film is about and then what the extras are, which are voluminous, and then I'll show you the packaging, which is really gorgeous. I'm not a big Jess Franco fan, but these are some of the movies that I've watched that have been a bit more accessible for me as far as being a Jess Franco disbeliever, non-believer, agnostic, I'm not sure what you would call it. So directed by Jess Franco, starring Christopher Lee as Fu Manchu, with Rosalba Neri, who is a big reason to watch this film, Tsai, Maria Perschy, Richard Greene, a cameo, much like Shirley Eaton in another one of these films, another Jess Franco film. She probably didn't know she was going to be in that film. I think Burt Kwok, who you would know from a lot of things, but probably predominantly as Kato in the Pink Panther films with Peter Sellers in the 60s and 70s. Burt Kwok is in this in the opening sequence of the film, which apparently is almost entirely lifted from another one of the Fu Manchu films. And Jess Franco has a cameo in this as well. This is presented in English with English SDH subtitles, but also French and Spanish subtitles. Fifth and final film in the Harry Ann Thaler series is my note here. So the 4K disc, it looks amazing, by the way. Razor sharp and really strong colors. This is late 60s, so a lot of the costumes and sets and lighting are just like right there for you. Fu Manchu, his daughter, and his minions. The film opens with, again, as I said, a sequence taken from a different Fu Manchu film, so they didn't have to shoot it. Burt Kwok, probably very surprised to be told he was in Castle of Fu Manchu. They are using some kind of strange weather controlling or matter controlling devices that they have to sink a ship, the Titanic. It's not supposed to be the Titanic in this movie, but all of the footage is footage from the very famous Titanic film, A Night to Remember. All of the mayhem from the boat sinking is what you see in this movie, but they just tint it like bluish. It's black and white footage, but they just tint it one color to make you see. It's not black and white. It's in color. One of them, but it's in color, and I was amused by that. It works really well, but I was amused by that. I didn't realize it was footage lifted from a previous Fu Manchu movie until I was watching the extras, and I'm like, oh, that's fabulous. He just lifted a chunk of another movie for that. So basically, the story is that Fu Manchu has captured a scientist who he believes has the correct code or formula or mathematical principle that can allow him to create a device that controls all matter. So he is holding the world hostage he is threatening the world that any day now, I'm going to have this device. And when I have this device, when I beat this old man enough or whatever, when I exert undue pressure and potentially sarcasm on this old man enough, and I'm going to be able to control everything. So you better get ready. You're going to have to start ponying up. And one of our He-Man British heroes, who is portrayed by Richard Greene, he infiltrates Fu Manchu, or tries to infiltrate Fu Manchu's lair, and winds up thrown in a jail cell along with some other people. And it is this Rosalba Neri is in it, and she plays sort of like a Turkish agent who's sort of having a toe-to-toe dalliance with Fu Manchu in terms of helping him or maybe not helping him, being a friend, maybe being a foe. She looks great. Anything with her is cool. And bottom line, a 4K UHD with Rosalba Neri, that might be reason enough to buy this. And so it's very much like an old-style pulp thriller with, flooding jail cells and caverns, and all the caverns are lit like incredibly bright, garish colors. It's like Mario Bava on Skittles. Hopped up on Skittles is what the color scheme looks like. And it's really cool to look at. Is it a great movie? No. Is it a fun B movie? Absolutely. Is it a fun Saturday matinee kind of thing? Yeah. That's what I thought was interesting about the other Fu Manchu film I watched recently from Blue Underground, The Blood of Fu Manchu, is that it feels like a 1930s cliffhanger serial, but made in the late 60s with the mod go-go kind of vibes to it. So Christopher Lee's great. Christopher Lee does dub himself in this. It is English dubbed, so I think most of the actors who speak English are dubbing their own voices. Christopher Lee does as respectful a job as possible in what you might call yellowface. He's very good in this. And it's overall, these are fun. These are fun, just goofy, trashy movies. Again, I will point out that throughout the film, they do use stock footage, probably from older black and white films, to show disasters that Fu Manchu is creating, and they always tint them in one color, probably just so, well, first of all, color versus black and white would stand out, but also that the colors help it blend with how garish and strong the color is in the film in general. Extras on this: commentary track by historians Nathaniel Thompson and Troy Howarth, and the international trailer that's 2.5 minutes long. That's the 4K. The Blu-ray is the same menu design, the same beautiful transfer, the same options to watch the movie, the same extras that I just mentioned, plus the Fall of Fu Manchu interviews with director Jess Franco, who is an actor in this film too. Producer Harry Allen Towers and stars Christopher Lee and Tsai Chin. That's 14 minutes. Castle of Courage interview with Stephen Thrower, author of Murderous Passions, The Delirious Cinema of Jess Franco. That's 21 minutes. Poster and still gallery, and 138 of those, which is very cool to look through the different titles and poster styles and things. And a Riff Tracks version of the film that is cut down to 75 minutes. And as always, for the MST and its family of people, is very funny. So that is what the cover looks like, which is really nice artwork. This is a slipcase. All the specs. Slips to reveal. Same darn thing. Crack it open, and you get the Blu-ray and Blu-ray and 4K versions. And then if you slip this out, this reverses to show you an alternate poster for it. So very nice release. Bravo, as always, to Blue Underground for putting this out and for doing such a nice job. Castle of Fu Manchu on 4K UHD and Blu-ray from Blue Underground.